I kind of got a weird question since you guys just got back in last night, but when you're evaluating free agency options and putting aside whatever feelings you have for Kyle, the coaching staff, and your teammates, does the location matter, knowing that in the pandemic that we're going through right now, that the county kicked you guys out? I mean, does that make you wonder whether this is some place you want to play again?
No, I don't really take that in consideration. I mean, I think the county was doing what they thought would be best for the county as a whole, not just for the football team. So when it comes to those decisions like that, I don't think, I can't hold that against them. They're making a decision for basically the humanity around the county, not just for, us athletes.
Hey, Trent, I know full well that Robert Saleh isn't your coach, but I'm just wondering, in your observations of him over the last 6 months or so, as somebody who's been in the league a while, whether you've picked up things from him that suggest that he would be a good head coach, whether he's got skills beyond being a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that you see for Saleh, is when you see him on the sideline, those emotions that he's showing, they're genuine. And those chest bumps where he's meeting his guys out at the hash marks after they make a good play, that's genuine. And his guys love him just as much as he loved them. So I say that to say, 90% of the battle of being a great head coach in this league is being able to relate to your players and being able to motivate them to play, not only play for themselves, but to play for you and to please you as a coach. And I think he has all those qualities. He not only is he connecting with his defensive guys, I built up a good rapport with him over the last year. A ton of guys before I got here had very, very good reports with him from the offensive side of the ball. So it just goes to show you what type of person he is, as a coach and as a human being, just being able to relate to grown men. And, I think he'll be an amazing coach, head coach for anybody lucky enough to get him.
Hey, Trent, I know you've said multiple times that you'd like to stay where you are, stay with the 49ers. You cannot be tagged, so you could theoretically at least test the market. Is it your hope and intention to get something done before free agency, or would you like to test the market and see what's out there at least?
Honestly, man, it don't matter to me. Because regardless, San Francisco would be the lead candidate regardless. So whether it's now or whether it is in free agency, a team has convinced me that it's better there than it will be here. So even if it does make it to free agency, it won't make it because I'm trying to – it won't be because I'm trying to go somewhere else. It may simply just because I may want to see my value. It's been 11 years in this league, and I have yet to see a franchise left tackle go to the open market. I think it'd be interesting to kind of see what that value holds. And, but regardless, like I said, and I've always maintained the same thing, I think San Francisco is my number one destination, and, we'll see how things work out.
Trent, you've been close to Kendrick Bourne, Deebo Samuel since you've arrived there. Deebo spoke to us about how not being able to play was such a mental challenge for him. Did you talk about that with him without, of course, revealing anything that you wouldn't want to? But has he spoken to you about that in the process of missing games?
Yeah, of course. I think a lot of the time in Arizona, me and him, we kind of shared the Airbnb, so we was already pretty good friends from just training in the off season. But obviously the relationship grew over this year, and I'm always in his ear. He'll tell you I'm one of those guys. I'm not everything he does, but pretty much I'm just kind of like I try to just be a little mentor for him. I feel like he's one of the most talented people I've seen with the football in his hands from my standpoint. From the wide receiver position, I've never seen a guy do the things that he can do after the catch, since probably like think Percy Harvin might be the one guy that I think has been on that same level as amazing when they get the ball in their hands. But, I just see so much potential in Debo, and I think Debo can be a household name, not just because the name Debo Samuel was catchy, but I think the product that he's going to put on this field for, years to come, I think he's going to be he's going to be a household name. He has a chance to go down as, as a Hall of Fame player.
Hey, Trent, I do want to ask you about Laken Tomlinson and what it was like to play with him, but something you just said really kind of piqued my interest. Just thinking about it, you're right. Left tackles never make it to the free agent market. Just think about all those guys, Pace and Walter Jones and, franchise, Joe Thomas never went anywhere, Joe Staley. Why do you think that is? Obviously, it's something you've thought about. And just what does it say about that position and your curiosity, like you mentioned, of what it would take if there were a bidding war for a left tackle such as yourself?
Yeah. It has been something that I've thought about. Like you said, you can go back as long as I can remember. I have never witnessed a franchise left tackle be on the open market. So I think you're right. I mean, I am curious to see what my value is around the league. I think last year, I didn't feel like I had a very high value. I think just going through that process, and I felt like I was devalued in a lot of ways. And I know I always put a good product on the field, but I think my character was questioned a lot. So there was a time point where I was being told that there was no suitors, there was no people looking to trade for me. So I thought, my value took a huge hit, and I think it is curiosity where I would kind of want to see where that true value is now that everybody can shoot their shot without having to go through anybody.
Trent, all that being said about your value, if you do get a deal at the top of the market, it would obviously be a very big number, almost the size of a quarterback contract. But for the 49ers, given that they have some salary cap constraints, is there a balance that you would find to come back to the 49ers in terms of a deal that works for both parties and that allows them to spend other money? Or is your priority going to be maximizing your own individual value?
Like I said, I think it'll be a blend of both. If I'm not here, obviously I would want to maximize my value, but I do understand that, we do have anytime you have a roster that has a lot of good players, you're not going to have a wealth of salary cap space. So I understand that as well. But, salary cap is just one aspect of it. There's always ways around that. So, but to answer your question, I mean, these type of deals, when they're of that size, there has to be some creative work between both sides that it all seamlessly fits in the salary cap and that it doesn't restrict the team from going out and getting better.
Hey, Trent, I was going to ask you about how your life has changed since winning our media award, but what you said also interested me as far as, maybe your market was depressed because, you're a bad guy or whatever. Was that, do you think that was just strictly about Washington and, hey, you gave up on Washington, didn't play for Washington? I mean, do you think that was at the root of whatever you were hearing about? We don't know about this guy's character.
Yeah, I think that was definitely the root of it. I mean, when you look at my past, I mean, I was a team captain for that team every year but my rookie year. So, for my character to be questioned, I was taken back. But I think it had a lot to do with I guess the pissing contest back and forth. The more my truth came out, the more they had to kind of find ways to devalue that and kind of make it more so me, And I get that. I mean, even as far as like even characterizing my absence as basically a holdout when I couldn't even play at the point. I wasn't holding out. I was just training to get ready. But people spin the stories how they want to spin them. I just feel like it would be too much work to go out and try to combat every storyline and everything that I knew was false. So it basically it really helped me just to kind of hone in on what really mattered, and that was just grinding to be a better player so that I can, when my opportunity did present itself, which I thought it would, and that I can seize that opportunity.
Two more, please.
Trent, the 49ers have 100 unrestricted free agents, give or take. You're probably a player that's going to cash out soon. Is there such thing as a player taking a slight discount, especially in this situation when a couple of those free agents, by you doing that, it might help get a couple of those free agents back into the building?
Yeah, like I said, I think I don't know if discount might be the right word, but as far as the payout, you might have to be, you can compromise with that. You can defer. There's so many different ways to make a contract fit. It's not just the bottom line. So like I said, I would never want to hinder the team to where we can't be who we think we can be or who we should be. But I think when you got guys in the front office that are very smart and they kind of find ways to get things done.
Trent, after 9 seasons with another team, coming into this one, instantly becoming a leader, how did this locker room make it such a smooth transition for you?
Just a great bunch of guys, great group of guys. Honestly, man, me being here, it made me such a better player because I felt like I had to be better on a daily basis. I couldn't just come in and go through the motions and still have a relatively scot-free practice. Here it was every day was a challenge. Every day, every player on this team, on that defense, they went 100 miles an hour. And I can't lie. And I'm not going to sit here and say I went 100 miles an hour for 10 years straight because I haven't. I didn't learn how to practice until my 3rd, 4th year in the league. So just being around here made me feel like I had to be better just to fit into the culture, not to fit into the game plan, but just to be someone that everyone respected around here. I had to do what they did, and I had to do it at a high level. So, I think this team definitely, not only did they embrace me, but they just made me so much of a better professional.
Hey, Faithful, click here to subscribe.